Fourth generation Zimbabwean, cattle ranching background, grew up struggling financially, was very fortunate. After I left school, I became a very successful businessman, wrongfully accused and went to prison, lost everything, learned a lot of lessons about myself going through prison, and now finding solutions to get back to where I was and a whole lot higher. Before I went to prison, I always told my kids everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So when I went to prison, I had to walk my talk
Yeah.
and say, you know, I'm here for a reason, whatever it is. And it was really hard to understand then. But when I see it now, you know, before prison, I was a big fish in a little pool.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm a little fish in a huge wide ocean, and I'm swimming all over the shows. I can see now that there is a purpose.
Yeah.
And in a way, I'm glad I did go to prison, because I'm a better person now. I know God better, and I believe that I'm able to reach out to people and let them know that there are bigger things out there.
Yeah.
Not only you and your possessions and your big fancy car and your smart clothes. There's more things to life than just that stuff.
So you speak about you were exercising a lot, and that helped you get through as well. I know we spoke earlier, you said you're a health fanatic and
Yeah.
you're on this new diet now.
Yeah.
Is that something that you'd advise people to do to get through stressful situations?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. So when I went to prison, I was always fit. I worked real hard and physically, you know, in the safari industry. But I was running 5 companies of my own when I went to prison, and it was during the beginning of the Zim dollar crash. So it was stressful financially. And I'll never forget the first day in the cell, lying in that little 33 centimeters of space on the floor, packed there, being bitten by lice. And I thought to myself, this actually doesn't feel so bad. They can do whatever they want. I have no control of that, and I don't want to think about it anymore. And I said to myself right then, I will never again get myself under that much pressure.
Yeah.
And the stress was a huge relief.
Yeah.
And I only felt it once I had no control at all
Yeah.
of what was going on there. And then I've carried that with me. So there's quite a few things from prison that I live, like living in the moment, for example.
Yeah.
Is I live in the moment now. I don't
Yeah.
think much about the future, because I know how much it can change. I'm not talking about my vision
Yeah.
and everything, but I have faith and I have vision. And my past is too painful, so I just severed all ties to that. And I'm not talking about emotional ties. I'm talking about the ties that are painful for me. The first week in prison, I started exercising just to de-stress. And the officers came in, and the prisoners first said, "No, you can't do that. The officers will beat you." So I said, "Why not?" He said, "No, they'll think you're trying to get strong to overpower them." I said, "Go and tell them I'm exercising." The next minute, 5 officers walked in, and one of them had 3 stars, so he was quite an important man. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just exercising, officer." He said, "We don't allow that." I said, "No, I'm just to de-stress and keep healthy. And we don't allow exercising in here." I said, "Well, best you go and tell the officer in charge that I'm exercising." And no one ever bothered me again. When you're watching so many people die and there's no food and there's no water, you've really got to be resilient and committed to stick to the, you have a goal to keep fit.
Yeah.
Then there's only one way to do it, and that is to stick to it and do it.
So where did that resilience come from? Because like we said earlier, a lot of people could just turn around and go with the flow and accept that the God said no, don't exercise.
Yeah.
So were you always that resilient?
You know, Chanel, a lot of people say you're the only one that could have survived that, no one else. And I'm a rugby player and rough and tough and that, but we're not born with resilience. You can build resilience. And I think boarding school at 6 years old, and in those days boarding school was rough. I mean, it was the old English tradition where in the 3-month school term, you're only allowed to see your parents at half term. So even if they came to Bulawayo, because they lived 200 k's away, we weren't allowed to see them. You could only see your folks at half term, then you go home.
Sure.
You come back, so for 3 months you see them, and you're 6 years old, just a little kid.
Yeah.
So I was basically brought up by cruel, bullying masters and matrons. And they pinch you all the time when you're late, lay me on the arms and on the legs.
Sure.
So yeah, I hated boarding school, the junior school. Then senior school, I had to overcome all the bullying in senior school. And that was part of boarding school. In those days it was really rough. It's more controlled now. And I was dead against bullying. Once I became a senior, from 16 onwards, I resented bullying. And then going through the war, from 12 years old, every school holidays I was on the farms with my uncles. I lost my dad at 12. So then I would go to out to the ranches with my uncles. So we grew up with an automatic weapon, right up until I left school. So I think, and being a rugby player, in those days, the environment of a war for 12 years builds a roughness in a society. A lot of fighting and a lot of rough upbringing. So, yeah, it was wild, eh? And rugby is also, in those days it was you weren't sent off for fighting like you are when it's sin bin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was rough. And I think with all of that combination, you build resilience.
Yes.
So I was really ready, not ready, but I think it paid a lot towards getting through there. Yeah, with the way I was brought up.
Yeah. Then comes back to purpose. Like everything happens for a reason. And
the mental side was very much more difficult than the physical side.
Yeah.
When you go to prison and you're innocent, why me? What have I ever done to deserve this? In the beginning, I thought, am I different to all these people? Do they feel my pain? You start thinking these things because it's just like such a bizarre environment, like being in another world. And then I thought, maybe I'm being put here to be protected. I was dealing with high-powered government cars, and there were white farmers being murdered and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe something was about to happen to me, and I've been put here to be protected, my children, whatever. And then I thought, well, maybe there's a reason that I'm here, and there's a purpose.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the only thing that I could think. That you have to convince yourself that I am here for a reason. And I couldn't see it then.
Yes.
But I see it now. Yeah. So if I look at the big picture right now, it's prepared me for where I'm going now. And am I upset? Am I resentful? Not at all. I've let that go already. And I'll put it down now to this is part of my journey. And it's part of the ammunition I need to make a difference in the world. It took about a year, Chanel, of anger, resentment, bitterness. I hated them for what they'd done and are doing to me. And I to think of them every night, just what I'm going to do to each and every one of them. I was very angry. And then after about a year, I'll never forget the exact moment. I was walking in the exercise yard, and I looked up and I just said, Lord, take care of them and let me get through this road that's been put in front of me. And there was an instant feeling of like, okay, so what goes around comes around, they'll get to their deserve. And I physically felt that. And then I thought, no, there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning. And I kept praying after that, and I never went home, so then it's a tug of war the whole time with my faith. But I definitely felt in that first time that forgiving them and pushing them away, and these angry, negative thoughts kept returning, and I pushed them away until I'd forgiven them wholeheartedly. And we have the ability to sever all ties to any resentment and anger and bitterness. And no matter what you've been through, and I can honestly tell you with all my heart, I never think about them, not even 1 second, like part of my life that never existed. And even when I talk about it, there's no resentment, there's no bitterness. It's done, it's prepared me.
Yes.
Yeah.